Okay, back in the shop again. I've accumulated quite a little pile of small scraps. What can I make? Let's make a candle. So once again, I'm using the protein canister as a mold or a form. And as always, Total Boat 2-in-1 high performance epoxy resin. The magic number seems to be about 500 grams plus 230 grams of hardener. So about 750 grams. So this Black Diamond's Green Envy pigment has little gold in it. So I wanted to highlight and accent that with the Aztec gold. And of course some pearl in with it. That was some leftover from another project. And of course it wanted to float a little bit. So we just kind of taped that down. I don't know if this is the right thing to do or not, but I didn't stabilize any of that wood. And some of it was kind of punky, so I put it in the vacuum chamber to suck some of the air out. It actually seemed to work pretty good. And then I put it in the pressure pot overnight. And I was pleasantly surprised on the results. But there's quite a bit of wood still sticking up, so I made another form, and I saw this on YouTube, and I wanted to try it. I'm always over mixing the resin, so I used rice to measure the volume. Yeah, mixing by hand kind of sucks. Back in the pressure pot. And typically before I go to work, I go out in the garage like it's Christmas, and I open up my present. And there it is. I alternate between this 5/8 inch gouge, bowl gouge, and carbide. I guess it kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in. If I feel like sharpening tools, I'll of course grab that 5/8 inch bowl gouge. If I just want to get to cutting, I'll just typically grab that 15 millimeter square carbide cutter. Now I switched over to a 15 millimeter square carbide cutter. I guess my mood changed. I don't have any negative rake cutters other than my hollowing tool, so chip out is kind of a problem. Put it this way, it kind of points me in the direction I need to go, as you'll see here. So I kind of had an idea and what I thought I wanted to make. It was turning out pretty good. Or so I thought. I don't know. Is that how I imagined it? Is it going to turn out okay? What's it going to look like when it's done? Ugh. I changed my mind. Just do it. Do it. Okay, there's no turning back now. Much better. Now I'm going to cut I believe it's a mortise with a little inverted dovetail surface there. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like and share all that good stuff. And I apologize for the length of this video. It is kind of lengthy. I'm working on getting them down between 12 and 15 minutes. while I'm looking at this, the wood that is in this is some Purple Heart, spalted oak, spalted maple, mahogany, walnut, quite the hodgepodge. Filling in some holes with some Starbond CA glue. And I thought I'd be smart and just sprinkle a little of that green envy pigment on there to kind of soak in. I had this idea to undercut the rim and thin it out. I mean, it is a candle, so I was looking for a little more light and luminescence. Yeah, I just made these detailing tools, and I was having fun using them. Okay, now getting out the 5-minute epoxy and tinting it with a little bit of that green envy black diamonds pigment. I'm not going to bore you with all that. Cleaning it up again, once again. Okay, now we get to the sanding. I'll typically start with an 80 or 100. I'll work my way up to a 320, then break out the sanding sealer. Let that dry, then hit it with a 400 micro mesh pad. Then I'll start with a 500 wet sand, 600, 800, 1000. I was using the small micro mesh pads, and going from 12,000 to or 1,200 to 12,000, but stopping at 1,000 with a wet sand, and then buffing it out with a brown rouge, and then finishing it with a blue. The axe polishing paste works really good too, but it just leaves a little bit of a like lines in the resin. It works wonders on the wood, but just not 100% happy with the finish on the resin. After finishing with the blue rouge, it's like glass, the wood and the resin. Okay, originally I said the reason for making this candle was some scrap wood I had sitting around, but I forgot I saw these glasses at the thrift store, a case of them, and I thought to myself, what can I make with those? So I came up with an oil floating wick candle. Checking for depth. I wanted that little glass to actually sit on the rim. And follow the profile too on the outside, that V shape. Once again with the 15mm carbide square cutter. I found that just works great for boring out and hogging out material. Quick check on the depth. I think this is a 10 or a 12mm square cutter that I just used. Once again, these are all not negative rake scrapers or negative rake cutters, so they'll take out some material if you really force them in there. But at this point, with the thin rim, it would probably chip out and crack, so very light cuts. Now I want to recess the top part there for that little rolled over lip on the glass, so that sits in there nice and good. Scribe a little mark right there. Little test fit. Yeah, it's fitting pretty good. At this point, I think I'm just kind of cleaning things up, getting rid of some tooling marks. Looks like I'm getting ready to do some sanding. Let's seal it all up. Get a little glimpse of what it's going to look like. Once again, 320 sanding sealer, 400 rough it up, 500, 600, 800, 1000 wet sand. And that's just some water. I do put a little eucalyptus oil and lavender in there. It actually smells pretty good. After buffing it with the brown and blue rouge, this is the final product. Well, I know the video was long. I hope you're still with me. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. If you know anybody else that would enjoy this video, please share. Please remember my channel, Epoxy Resin Works. I got a lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of crazy ideas that are floating around.